This video is sponsored by Trainwell. More about them later. DIY friends, welcome back to my channel. I gotta admit something. My entryway blows. I just don't know how else to say it. It sucks. There's no curb appeal to it. It's just a sad situation, and I genuinely cannot stare at it for one more day. I cannot walk past it for one more day without doing something about it. I don't have a lot of money to put into this entryway, but I do have a lot of DIY willpower, so we're gonna put those things together. Lack of money and willpower, I guess, and we're gonna make some magic happen. We are doing what Justin Timberlake does best and brings sexy back to this entryway.
What?
That makes no sense, but we're going with it, so editor, roll the tape. Okay, friends, so let me walk you through kind of where this entryway is at and why things need to change. First of all, let's just take a little wide shot, shall we? I mean, this whole entryway, it's not bad, especially in the summertime. We have this beautiful tree here. I think it creates a nice little moment, but there's nothing going for this entryway. We don't have like a front stoop or a beautiful porch or a little step up. All it is just some unlevel patio stones that just walk up to here, and then there's a lot of weeds. Like, what is this? That's not a weed anymore. This is like a full-blown thistle tree. That's crazy and very dangerous. On top of that, the door itself, I'm not in love with. It's fine, it's a good door, it's a nice window. It's just not my vibe. Honestly, guys, look at this. This was the old mat. I put this one on top just to look at it, and then with the intention to like move that out of the way, and then just never did it. I never did it. I have another mat underneath that. So we got one mat, two mat, three mats. Why? I did add this little shelf here, which to be honest has been a really great thing. We use that shelf all the time, especially, you know, if we're working outside, it's a great place to put drinks. So I kind of want to keep the shelf. We have this lovely mirror here. Hello, mirror. And we have this display here, which I'm not even sure why this is here. So we should probably move it. We'll deal with that after. And then we kind of have this general area, which is kind of hard to explain, but it looks like there was patio stone, and now it's like a mishmash of patio stone, ground, gravel, dirt, and all things. So I got thinking, the perfect way to update this entryway for little to no cost would be to just redefine the walking space. Right now, there's like, it's a long line of patio stones, when maybe we could shorten it and actually create just like a little rectangular area to define the entryway. And to do that, I thought, let's do it with bricks. And I was like, okay, I don't have a lot of money. How can I afford to buy multiple bricks for a low cost? So I went on Facebook Marketplace and I found 300 bricks for, drum roll please, free. I know. Somebody was landscaping, they wanted them gone. I said, I will take them, so I did.
Another job well done.
Okay, so this is kind of like an awkward entryway because it's so tucked away. I've never seen something, you know, just like in a corner before like this. So it's been kind of hard to redesign or rethink and do it in a way that, you know, is cost effective. I think what I need to do right now is just get everything out of this entryway. We need to lift up all of these patio stones and just get them out and see what we're dealing with. So while I'm doing that and showing off my guns of steel, I figured it's a great time to thank the sponsor of today's episode, Trainwell. I've actually talked about Trainwell a few times on this channel, who were formerly known as Copilot. They recently changed their name to Trainwell to help differentiate themselves with the growing number of AI chatbot Copilot services, which is completely the opposite of what they are, which is solely about human-led personal training. So what is Trainwell? It's a personal fitness trainer on your phone. No, seriously, I have my own personal trainer, a real person that I talk to through my Trainwell app on my phone. Now, when I first started my Trainwell journey back in the fall of 2023, I did a full one-on-one call with my personal trainer, Heidi, who I just love. We met face-to-face and we talked about my past workout journey, my fitness goals, the equipment I had in my home, certain ailments I could and couldn't do. And from that, she tailors custom workout plans that are adapted just for me. When I started with Trainwell, I was on a personal mission to reboot my body and mind. With the amount of DIYing that I do, I just wanted to be strong mentally and physically. I mean, did you see me hauling all that mulch a few weeks weeks ago, I don't think I would have survived without that weight training. I feel the strongest I have ever been, and that is an amazing feeling. And the best part, it's on your phone, so you can take it anywhere with you. I was traveling in February, so I just told Heidi, I don't have access to my usual gear. Can you give me a workout I can do anywhere? And that was it. I was good to go. I mean, beyond how much I enjoy the flexibility that this app provides me, being that I work out from home, I think the element that has been the most game-changing for me is the human connection and accountability that I feel. You know, working out at home, it's really easy to just not work out. And it's kind of crazy that it is an app, but there is a real person behind it talking to you, rooting you on, making sure you stay on track, tweaking and checking in almost every time I finish a workout. Okay, only slightly dying, and that's because of Trainwell. So if you're like me and you're looking for a workout solution that can keep you accountable, then maybe Trainwell is right for you. I have a link in my description box. It's also on screen here, or there's a QR code you can scan that's going to give you 14 days free with an expert trainer. So check it out. Well, this was something I wasn't expecting to find. So once I pulled up the stones, there was like this wood underneath here, or like a little piece that was holding it up because they just, I don't know, the person who put the stone here didn't want to properly level it, but all this wood is now rotten, so it's a miracle that it was holding up anything. But I think I'm gonna have to pull this up. I'm gonna foam underneath here just to create a barrier, maybe. I think I might have to. I also might need to put a new kick plate here because it looks like, or some kind of like fascia board, because this is all rotten on this side. Woof. I'm like afraid to move this. I feel like my whole house is gonna fall down if I move this. Okay, found a quartz rock. Interesting. Huh, another quartz rock. Please don't be animals. Please don't be animals. This always ends up being more work than I bargained for. All right, so now that I've assessed this a little bit better, what I'm gonna do is go to the hardware store. I need to go get some spray foam, and I need to get some kind of board that's gonna act as a new fascia piece. I might even have to get some pressure treated just to build out some blocking in the back so that I have something to attach the fascia board to. This should be good enough. It feels pretty solid, but this corner I'm a little worried about. So looks like we have some restructuring to do before we can even get to the good part, which I don't even know if this is the good part. It's all the hard part. Oh God. Getting that stupid fascia board put there was like the longest process. I think I wasted all day doing this. The gap in the back corner was much deeper than I was expecting. It literally took me like 3 cans to get it all filled up. It's done, it's replaced, we can move on. Either way, now I need to just focus on cleaning this area up. I mean, I still got a lot of weeds to pull out on this side. I still have to map out where all of the bricks are gonna go. I basically gotta just start digging out all this section. I hate this so much. At least it's a beautiful day though. Let's look on the bright side. It's a beautiful day, it's sunny. Let's keep going, let's de-weed, let's move some dirt around, and let's see how far we can get. Yeehaw! Well, friends, Name of the game today is moving a lot of dirt and moving a lot of stone. All of this limestone needs to get moved into this area. Obviously, as you can see, there's like a big gap here. So I want to make sure that I can raise it up and then bring the brick, so at least that it's like somewhat aligned with this element, with the door step here. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. Already worked out, and now I'm gonna do the second workout of the day. Feeling strong. Having some challenges navigating where my rectangle should be. So I'm gonna start putting my stakes in, and then I can draw a line, and this will give me a better idea of like where I need to be in. Wrap this around. I'm gonna get a laser level to see if my line's actually right here, but looks somewhat right. What I feared, I will not be able to see this during the day. Woof. I think we're gonna have to go the old school way. I can't see my laser level. 59 and a half. Oh wow, that was way off. Huh, that was pretty good. 87 and a half. All right, friends. Got myself a proper tamp. Here we go. This is the spot I want to make sure it's the most tamped. Oh, that's much better. I mean, I'm not aiming for absolute perfection, but something in the middle of that. I think we did it. We did it! So I'm thinking we need to create some kind of border, and I want to do as kind of a straight border here, and then after the straight border's done, do that too high. So I'm gonna have to like cut down and then kind of build these in now that I kind of know where my base is. And then once these are here, then I think I want to do like a herringbone pattern, you know, like do it basically so it goes on angles.
I'm going to make this way harder than it needs to be.
I have a brick cutter. It's a little manual one that I can bash. Hopefully that'll work out well. But I think we kind of need to build the border first, and then once the border's done, then we can actually do something. Because I feel like it needs something to like hold it all in place, you know what I mean? And I realize you're probably thinking, well, why didn't I do that first and then fill this in? Well, that's a really good question. Maybe I should have done that. It might have been easier, I don't know. I don't know. And then if I do too high, 2 brick high, I think that is gonna make up the height that I need anyways. Actually, I might even need to go 3 high, because then once I'm 3, yeah, then I'm actually aligned with that. Okay. Or I do it less and I do a border like this, and I do that 3 high. And then on the inside, I do a border. And that means that I can actually go on the outside of this line, and that won't interfere with, ooh, and then that's gonna line up with this piece. Okay, we're getting somewhere. This is way better. This is way better. Okay, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. All right, so VO Danie popping in here. I wanted to give some context on what I'm clearly struggling to do here. If I could go back in time, I maybe would have done this process first before building up my base, but I'm a newbie here, so bear with me, friends. What I'm making is the retaining wall that's going to hold my entire brick step together. These bricks will need to be held together with either a mortar or a good heavy-duty construction glue, which I had neither at this moment. So what I focused on was just building the general wall and leveling the bricks. I was stacking them 3 high, but when I'm ready to glue them, they will need to be staggered for more strength, which you will see me do in a few steps. I mean, just getting the ground level where the brick sat was the hardest part. I also struggled because to the eye, these didn't look straight because my house is so cockeyed, which leads to that question. Should you go by what looks good to the eye so that it looks nice, or level it properly and let it have some imperfections to the eye? I don't know. I chose to level it properly, but it's hard to say sometimes. Now, the second wall gave me a lot of stress, and I actually had to adjust the placement, which meant my front wall that I just spent all that time doing needed to be moved, leading to the next learning of the day. Always start in the corner and work your way outward from that. I definitely made more work for myself, but hey, let my mistakes be your gain. This was a lot of work, and I know 2 things. 1, I have a lot of respect for landscapers, and 2, I definitely need to invest in some knee pads because that's really hurt. I'm pretty sure I just have like rock indents into my knees now. So now that I have this barrier, this wall, which is beautiful, and it's all level, it's lovely, I love it. But now my inside is all kind of wonky, so I'm gonna take the surrounding area and I'm going to fill all of this in. I do think though that I might want to create some kind of step, that or I can landscape a slope up to this point, but I think it might look good if it has like a little step in the front, you know what I mean? I just don't know, but I think I'm gonna have to make that decision after. One thing at a time, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get my shovel. We're gonna fill this little area in. We're gonna level this inside to basically the second brick so that everything that I have now is aligned with the brick, the top brick. That's the goal. It's all uphill from here at this point because once this is filled in, tamped down, and level, we just lay bricks. Like, that's it. That's all we do. I mean, I say that I say that like it's not going to be challenging to figure out this herringbone pattern, but we're gonna figure it out, friends. We still got days ahead of us. All right, so I'm gonna start shoveling, and let's just keep on bricking. Well, after a long day, my husband brought me construction glue and was kind enough to help me stagger the bricks on my wall, which I happily accepted because all of this work was no joke, my friends. It takes so much out of you, and I had nothing left in me, but I had no regrets building the wall ahead of time. It made the entire process go super quick and seamless, and you know what? I don't think it looked too bad at the end of it all. Well, I'll be. We got a front stoop. She's pretty sturdy, friends. Not too shabby. So here's the plan for today. Become bricklayers. What's up? Yes, let's go. I feel like that was like my Sailor Moon moment. DIY did it power! Woo! So today, here is my plan. I'm gonna push all the dirt, get it re-leveled. We gotta tamp it. Once we get it there, we're gonna start making some noise. We're gonna start laying down some bricks. We're gonna become pro bricklayers. And then we're gonna start this herringbone pattern. I'm decided I wanna do a herringbone pattern. Is it the most complicated? Yes. Have I set myself for a challenge? Yes. Am I looking fear in the eye and saying, not today, Satan? Yes, because I want a herringbone pattern and I will stop at nothing to get what I want. That's what I'm talking about. It's a big DIY energy, you know? Gotta beef myself up in the morning because it's gonna be a lot of work.
I want to bump you up.
Yeah. harder. Isn't that nice? But I'm kind of getting worried because look how teeny tiny my pile is now. I'm kind of worried I'm not gonna have enough, but I might just have enough. I mean, this is not a big square at this point, so I think I might be okay. Now we need to start on the herringbone pattern. I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but I think we're gonna be okay. Now, my house is not square, which is kind of problematic for this side here. It's not very straight along this house line. I mean, I'm gonna fill that in with sand, but it's not a great line. But I'm hoping that if I at least start on this side and work my way across, that these can kind of, you know, just be adjusted as we see fit to make sure that everything fits nicely. And you're probably wondering, well, Danie, how are you gonna break some brick? With my hands, friends, with my hands. No, I'm kidding. So this is a brick cutter, and what you can do is just basically you make like score a line on it, and then you put this where you wanna break it, and then boom, it breaks. Easy peasy. I say that and it's probably gonna be really hard, but we're gonna give it a go today. I hope this goes well. I mean, friends, wish me luck because I feel like I need all the luck in the world. I've never done anything like this in my life. So I A, feel accomplished, but B, feel terrified at the exact same time. But we're gonna like use that fear to fuel creativity today.
I'm fear.
And I'm optimism.
I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. I'm having fun. Well, that didn't work out very well.
All right, who knew that brick cutter wasn't going to work and didn't tell me, huh? Who knew? Because if I continue with that brick cutter, we're going to be here for days. So after that cutter was another failure, I just decided to take a new approach, but I also decided it would be smarter to start my herringbone pattern from the middle and work my way outward. So I just measured for my middle and just started placing my bricks in that herringbone formation, leveling the bricks as best as I could as I went. And I also just wanted to mention that there are a lot of different bases you can use for underneath your pavers. A lot of people use sand or just like different types of aggregate. I'm using limestone, but there are just so many different ways to do this. So, you know, just find the best way that works for you.
Okay, so now that I got the herringbone laid, which I'm very happy with, I got to start cutting the brick. So I just ran to the hardware store and I got myself a metal carbide blade. So this one, let me see. This is it cuts wet and dry. It's a turbo diamond saw blade, but it says it cuts bricks, so that's great. I just have it on my angle grinder here. So I'm gonna soak the brick, figure out where my cut line is, and then basically just go in and give her a cut. I'm wearing safety glasses, of course. I'm gonna put gloves on, and I'm just gonna try to make this as safe as possible. I've never really tried to cut through brick before, but I mean, how hard can it be? I did do a little test piece over there, and it went okay. So I think we can proceed, and I think we're gonna be good. Yay! Let's go cut some brick. Yes. Friends, I had to quit yesterday. I was so tired and I only had one row left to do and I was like, I just don't got it in me. I just couldn't do it. But you know what? I got it done so fast this morning because I had new energy, new life in me, and I got this done pretty quick. So we're done. We're done bricking, and now all I need to do is just add the sand in. But it's pretty good, guys. I mean, it's not perfect. You can tell an expert didn't make this, but also it's not terrible, I don't think. And look how many brick we had left over. That's not bad. I didn't think we were gonna have enough, but I did. I actually have more than enough. Okay, but now that we're done the bricking, we need to add the sand. So let me show you what I'm gonna be putting in the cracks of this to kind of bring it all together.
So this, my friends, is polymeric sand. It's a sand that's commonly used to fill in between, you know, pavers or bricks or stone, whatever you're using. Now this stuff is special though because it has an additive called silica in the sand that becomes a binding agent and locks sand particles together when the water is added. So you basically pour it on top of your paver stones, spread it out with a broom the best that you can. This will need to be done more than once, and then you kind of tamp in between to help the sand fall down into the cracks. And then you just repeat this until the sand stops moving around. So once I was ready, I hosed my brick down with water and used my vacuum with the hose pushing air, and I just kind of blew all the excess water out to ensure none of that poly sand was sticking on the top of the bricks. It just kind of makes it icky and leaves a residue behind, so you want to make sure that the bricks are nice and clean. I mean, I gotta say, as a newbie, a first time bricklayer, I don't think that looks so bad. At this point, it was time to start pulling this space together, starting with using DAP's premium wood filler to fill in all the holes, dings, and scratches around the door casing. I left that alone, and once it was fully dry, I sanded it nice and smooth, and using my tried and true outdoor porch and patio paint, I repainted the casing in a bright white. And I was clearly feeling sassy that day going into this painting without taping off my edges, but reality soon came back to me, and there we go. Yes, there's the tape. I also started ripping out the weeds from the garden. Honestly, there is nothing more exhausting than ripping out weeds, my friends. Like, woof. But also, what a difference such a simple task can make. I also removed all the old stepping stones that were in the garden and then just went and died in the grass. But I did get back to it the next day, having bought a beautiful lilac bush for the garden, and I bought this rose bush because I just feel like no garden is truly complete without a rose bush, in my humble opinion. Then Jeff and I laid down some fresh brown mulch everywhere in the garden. It just makes such a difference. It gives it such a clean look that I love. And then we decided to reuse our old paver stones to redefine the area in the front of the barn doors, which I thought was a great use for those stones. Now, remember when I talked about adding a second step because I love complicating my life? Well, waste not, I say, and with the leftover bricks, Jeff and I built the second step, which honestly did not take that much time, especially with two people, and I think it was worth the extra step because it made the step gradual versus one big step up, which is kind of what I liked. It feels very natural now when you walk up to the doorstep. Then as a final step to this exhausting entryway revamp, I got my power washer out and just started cleaning the dirt and algae from the side of the house, on the windows, on the windowsills, and it kind of just felt like the last cleansing bit to a big DIY project. Now, just in case we needed the reminder of what the space looked like beforehand. Ah yes, overgrown, unlevel, unruly. Well, I give you my updated entryway.
DIY friends, I set out to bring the sexy back to the front entryway, and I gotta say, I think we did that. I mean, is she perfect? No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm not a pro landscaper, I'm not a pro bricklayer, but I sure did try, and I don't think I did half bad of a job. I mean, consider these weren't brand new bricks. These were used bricks that have already lived a lifetime, and I'm just giving them new life instead of seeing them go to a landfill. I wanted to do this for a low cost. I didn't want to invest a lot of money, and so I think I was able to do this for, I want to say, range of between $250 and $300. So I saved a lot of money. So I hope that seeing me do this motivated all of you at home to maybe want to give your own home a little curb appeal, reuse what you have, just think outside the box and think of what you can do to just give it that little extra je ne sais quoi. Was it a lot of work? Yes, but it was definitely worth it because it just feels so nice out here now. What a difference, like literally night and day. But oh man, friends, if you thought that this makeover was finished, then you are wrong because next week we are going to really transform this space. Yes, we have the basics in place now, but let's really bring this entryway to a unique, one-of-a-kind place. I think we could DIY some projects and make it look so cute, so quaint, and you do not want to miss it. So if you aren't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And of course, sending a big thank you again to the sponsor of today's episode, Trainwell. A reminder, I have a link in my description box that will get you 14 days free with your own expert trainer. And of course, a big shout out to my Patreon family, my DIY friends. If you are looking for a community of DIYers to hang out with, get advice from, or just share your progress on projects, then my Patreon is definitely the place for you. Come hang out with us. We do so many fun things. And hey, maybe you just like watching my content, but you want to do it brand free, commercial free, well then head on over to my Patreon and you can do it there. But of course, my friends, as always, stay positive, stay creative, and keep on DIYing. Bye-bye.